Well, greatness is when you make your delusions your reality.
You can beat 99% of people without being smarter or luckier, but by being willing to endure pain and uncertainty for longer.
99% of people are not willing to do what it takes to make their dreams come true.
Every successful person in this world has jumped.
The only way I can lose is if I die, and I don't plan on that happening.
I'm the greatest fighter that ever stepped foot in the ring. Money will be lost that night. This will be the biggest upset in the century of all boxing.
I remember that in politics, I had a very clear vision that I will be the leader of California. This is as far as I could go because I was not born in America, so I could not run for president. So being the governor of the fifth largest state, the largest state, the fifth largest economy in the world, was for me really the ultimate title, the ultimate accomplishment in politics. So even though people came up to me and says, why don't you go and run for something smaller, you're never gonna make it. I ran for governor, and then 2 months later I became governor of the state of California.
A man without money is a man without a voice. You could be the wisest man in the room, but if your pockets are empty, then no one will listen. Even your family and your relatives will begin to disrespect you. So get up every single day and work like a savage. Fix your finances, because money fights many battles.
Regardless of how I feel and how depressed I am, the sun is gonna shine in the morning, and at nighttime the moon gonna be there, and you're gonna look up, these days gonna keep going by.
And if you're still breathing, well then hell, you still got some fight left in you.
Did you not feel any doubts at all? I mean, when on that first day of shooting, when you step out of your caravan or dressing room or whatever, to go and appear before the camera, was there never a moment when you thought, my God, am I doing the right thing?
Oh yeah. Up until that time, I was bluffing. You know, they said, yeah, I can act, I'm a good actor, just give me a chance. Of course I can do it, I can out-act anyway, don't worry about it. Then they said, okay, do it. They called my bluff. Now, if I go out there and make a fool out of myself, I've wasted $1 million, I've destroyed my reputation. Any young artist that comes along and says that they'd like to make a movie, they can say, hey, don't you remember Stallone? You want to make a bomb? And my name would be synonymous with turkeys and bombs. Say, hey, why don't you go out and make a Stallone film? Which would mean turkey all the time, tax write-off. Make a Stallone movie for tax write-off. So it was tremendous fear. And when that fear subsided was at the last second, as I was going out of the trailer. We ride around these trailers to the set. It was freezing, it was about 4:30 in the morning, the winds were blowing down the street, very dramatic, and it was cold, and there was the Philadelphia City Hall clock there lit up, and the wind was blowing, and mist and all that. And as I'm pulling out of stepping out of the trailer, I passed this mirror, and I said, all right, now you're gonna do it, or are you gonna sit here and become a bum for the rest of your life?
Is it difficult to become fit and attractive? Of course it is. That's the whole point. Easy paths don't build anything real. They don't test you. They don't change you. What you're feeling right now, that pressure, that doubt, that urge to give up, that's it. It means you're on the right path. It means you're doing something that matters. The man you break today becomes the king who rules tomorrow. Welcome to the Iron Paradise, where hard work is forged into dreams.
So when I saw in my mind my mom and my dad and my brother crying at my grave, I went through it. That one thought saved me.
You fight hard for the first 2 or 3 rounds. I know I already broke his spirit.
There's this old story in King Arthur where the knights go off to look for the Holy Grail, which is either the cup that Christ drank out of at the Last Supper or the cup into which the blood that gushed from his side was poured when he was crucified. The stories vary, but it's basically a holy object, like the phoenix in some sense, that's a representation of transformation. So it's an ideal, and so King Arthur's knights, who sit at a round table because they're all roughly equal, go off to find the most valuable thing, and where do you look for the most valuable thing when you don't know where it is? Well, each of the knights looks at the forest surrounding the castle and enters the forest at the point that looks darkest to him. And that's a good thing to understand, because the gateway to wisdom and the gateway to the development of personality, which is exactly the same thing, is precisely through the portal that you do not want to climb through.
For you to constantly win, when this voice over here, the real you, is saying, get the fuck out of here. Go. You're nobody. You've always been nobody. And it's true. People don't hear that. That's a true voice. It's not a false reality. And then you had to create another voice over here that is saying you're better than that other voice. And you're in the freezing cold water that both voices don't want to fucking be in. But you win. And it goes from the water to the studying, to the running, to losing weight, to how you eat, to how you function as a man. Every day of your life, you're winning these battles. And then I have normal people who only have one voice. Never created the second voice. The winning voice is the second voice. They have one voice. And that's just, I'm a piece of shit. That's all they hear. And then they judge people like me, who are out here trying to be better.
I am a living witness that if you're brave enough to dream it, it can happen.
If all we do different than our competitors is they take a week to do things and we get it done in a day, I don't have to be richer, smarter, or better.
Now, what if something could happen that could come along and fill you with a sense of absolute certainty? Not like I believe, but I mean where you know. In you guys' case, mine as well, we knew because we had to. Because we burned the boats. There was no other option. We had to find a way. We weren't going to live that way. We all did it in different ways and for different reasons, but in essence, that was it. If you get yourself in a state of certainty that this is going to work, I'm going to find a way, and if this doesn't work, I will make the way, then you tap a lot more potential. And when you're certain in your potential, you take massive action. When you take massive action, you really believe in something, you get great results. When you get great results, your brain goes, see, I told you I was a stud. I told you this thing would work out. Now you're even stronger. You tap more potential, take greater action, greater results. That's how you went from $300 in a week to $2,500 in 5 days to $100,000 in a month to $1 million in a day. Same.
Consistency builds greatness.
There's no such thing as failure, really, because failure is just that thing trying to move you in another direction.
If an eagle ever sees a bird flying at the same altitude that he's flying at, it must be another eagle.
My father could have been a great comedian, but he didn't believe that that was possible for him. And so he made a conservative choice. Instead, he got a safe job as an accountant. And when I was 12 years old, he was let go from that safe job. And our family had to do whatever we could to survive. I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't want. So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.
Separation of talent and skill is one of the greatest misunderstood concepts for people who are trying to excel, who have dreams, that want to do things.
When the excuses all go away and people can actually confront the fact that this is all because of me, it hurts, but is also unbelievably empowering.
Your job is not to figure out how it's going to happen for you, but to open the door in your head. And when the door opens in real life, just walk through it.
I was 20 years old. I was at my lowest point. And then one day, and I remember the exact day, March 27th, 1975, I was helping my mother in her beauty shop. My mother owned a beauty shop up in Mount Vernon. And there was this older woman who was considered one of the elders in the town. And I didn't know her personally, but I was looking in the mirror, and every time I looked at the mirror, I could see her behind me, and she was staring at me. She just kept looking at me. Every time I looked at her, she kept giving me these strange looks. So she finally took the dryer off her head and she said something I'll never forget. She said, "Young boy, I have a prophecy, a spiritual prophecy." She said, "You are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people." And in the years that followed, just as that woman prophesied, I have traveled the world and I have spoken to millions of people through my movies. Millions who up till this day couldn't see me. Who up till this day, I couldn't see while I was talking to them, and they couldn't see me. They could only see the movie. They couldn't see the real me. But I see you today.
You've got to be willing to give up who you are for who you could be, because greatness isn't comfortable.
Sleep, he said sleep. Sleep is for those people who are broke. You can't be scared to die for the truth.
One of my dear friends, Robert Depew, Bobby used to be a school teacher in Lindsay, olive capital of the world. Bobby taught school several years, got a little weary teaching school. One day decided he wanted to get into sales. So without telling anybody, he just up and quit his job teaching school and jumped into sales. When he did, his brother made fun of him, laughed at him, put him down, said Robert's lost his mind. Had a good job teaching school, now he thinks he's a sage. He's gonna go down the drain, lose everything. Just put him down something fierce. Bobby said, the way my brother acted when I got into sales, he said that made me so mad. I decided to get rich. And my question for you tonight is it possible to get that mad? Of course. Wealth is not a matter of intelligence. It's a matter of inspiration. Today, Robert happens to be one of my millionaire friends. Bobby's rich.
I want you to curl as if your motherfucking life depending on it.
See, I don't need friends that aren't involved in this game. Or that aren't on the same path, you know what I mean?
When God has something for you, it doesn't matter who stands against it. God will move someone that's holding you back away from a door and put someone there who will open it for you. If it's meant for you. I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it. Now, this is your time.
If it were not for life, I would still be a disc jockey. I didn't just leave voluntarily to go to the state legislature. I was fired. I was working on a job, and I came home one day. I was married at the time, and I told my former wife, I said, that guy Bert I work for is stupid. She said, if he's so stupid, why does he sign you a paycheck? Now, you see why I divorced her, right? I couldn't stand her. That night, I could not sleep well. Here was a guy that was controlling my life. I was going through all kinds of changes because this man controlled my paycheck. And it was Carlyle who said, truth crushed to earth shall rise again. Winston Churchill said, the truth is incontrovertible. Malice may attack it, ignorance may deride it, but at the end there it is. And we know scripture that says, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And the truth that I had to come to grips with, that I wasn't in charge of my destiny. The truth was that I wasn't giving all that I had. The truth was that there are some things that I wanted to do, but I didn't have the courage to act on those things. And the truth was that Bert Childs was a blessing to me. He made life so miserable for me, I had to start looking at my life differently.
Before you leave this world, before you die, jump. Just jump one time. Just jump. Thank you very much.
Nelson Mandela said, there is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living.
Choose love, and don't ever let fear turn you against your playful heart.
You don't have to change what's outside. All you've got to change is what's inside. To have more, you simply have to become more.
I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you.